What's up YouTube? Matt, the overall bargain hunter here. Today we're going to take a trip down to Austin, Texas, or up to Austin, Texas. We're going to check out the Goodwill Clearance Center there. I'm going to be traveling with my mom and my crazy aunt today, so it should be an interesting ride. Let's see what overall bargains we can find and have a good time. Right, made it here to Austin to the Goodwill Outlet store. We're about to see what it looks like inside. It looks gigantic, so hopefully we find some good stuff.
This Goodwill, when you walked in, it was huge. You couldn't even see all the way to the back of the store. So when I go in, I start just kind of at the first few bins. I kind of skipped the bins that were just clothing because I wasn't really looking for just specifically clothing. I looked there and I saw the wire doorbell here, and that's the first thing that I picked up. Unfortunately, there were not baskets, so I ended up just carrying stuff until I was able to find something. My mom ended up finding a basket. My aunt found a tub that she was carrying stuff in. So I keep going through, looking and seeing what I can find. At this store, the bins weren't as full as they are in San Antonio, so it's a little bit easier to go through them. You do still have to dig a lot if you've not been to one of these bin stores. It is a lot of digging. It can be kind of a lot of work because sometimes the stuff is pretty heavy, so it just kind of depends. I saw this really cool Jumanji game, but it was missing all the pieces. I probably would have got it even though it was a little bit heavier. I just thought it looked really cool. Kind of keep digging. There was a lot of Christmas stuff. So I found this cool R2-D2 book, but I decided to kind of look through it. And then one of the pages had a big tear through half of the page, so I just decided, well, it wasn't worth it. The sound and everything still worked on it, but with that tear, I wouldn't be able to sell it. This is where I found a couple of those Disney Infinity figures, and actually my aunt found the rest of them. They were in the tub that she had. So I went ahead and picked those two up, and I kind of tossed them over to my aunt who was next to me at that point, so you can see I put them in her. Right from there, I just keep walking around, seeing what I can find. There was so much stuff there. Again, a lot of it was Christmas stuff, but there was just a bunch of different stuff. And like I said, as you're in there, they bring out new stuff. I found this rug and it still had the tag and everything on it. I didn't roll it all the way out to see what it looked like, but I decided that it was going to be too heavy, wasn't going to be worth shipping, plus it would be more expensive because of how heavy it was. Saw these glasses that were like IKEA wine glasses. Unfortunately, I could not find all of them. One of the reasons it's important to wear gloves at these Goodwill bin stores is because a lot of times there's going to be broken glass or just jagged stuff in there. So you can see here this piece of broken glass. So as you're digging through, you want to be careful. Sometimes in these bins that have like the big comforters, you can find some stuff hiding underneath. Because a lot of people just kind of skip over them. Not always though. So I was looking at these little plushes in this bin because I do sell plushes out at my booth sometimes, but I decided to not mess with them. This is where I found the little Memorex CD cases. Unfortunately, the sold comps were only about $15 on this, and it would have cost me like $4 or $5, and then I would do free shipping, which would then cost me like another $4 or $5. So I just didn't feel like it was worth it. I did end up picking up another Memorex case, which is in this bin as well, that I didn't get on camera. And a couple other, a giant fish plush that I ended up getting that you can see. That rolling bin that's down on the ground, I actually found that in a cart and put it together so that I can use it as my own cart, which was really helpful since I couldn't find a cart there. And I wouldn't have gotten nearly as much stuff if I was just carrying it around on my own. Checked out this Callaway golf bag. I don't know a lot about golf bags, but I have seen people do well, and that is a brand that I know. Again, I kind of shy away from that bigger stuff. Then I found this, and it was new in the box. I didn't find any real sold comps on it. I did see it posted, but I decided to get it anyway. I found this plate, and I don't know a lot about it, but it has the certificate of authenticity. It's all in the package and presented really nicely, so I decided to go ahead and take a chance on it. This is where I found the little defuzz it, which again, I don't know how well it'll sell, but the sold comps were okay, and since it was so light, I figured it was worth it. So right about here is where I'm digging through, and I found those soundproof panels, but I don't get it on camera because right when I'm digging through this bin, a man comes up to me and tells me that I'm not allowed to film in the store, and he shows me the sign up on the wall that says that. So I had to turn the camera off after that.
Alright, so we're leaving the outlet store. I got told that I wasn't allowed to film in there, so we didn't get all of the things that we found. Plus my mom found some stuff and my aunt found some stuff. But this basket here has a lot of the stuff that we found. And then when I do the reveal later today, I'll pull up all the comps and stuff, and we'll go through all the different things that we found that weren't on camera. Made it back to San Antonio. I'm gonna go through all the stuff that we found at Goodwill. We didn't end up going anywhere else because the car was so full. You'll notice in the video, like in the basket, it looks much more full. Plus my aunt had a whole thing, but some of that was for my mom's personal and my aunt's personal stuff. So we're gonna go through the stuff that is actually for me for resale. So the first thing that my aunt found, and we found a bunch of them, are these Disney Infinity. So I'm gonna show you all the different characters that we did find. So we have Nick Fury, Ronan, Loki, Drax, and Hawkeye. I think that's all the characters we found. And so I'll bring up some sales comps on these. I'm not going to necessarily do one of each kind, but they're all sell for about the same price. Both of these bags over here are full of those figures. So a lot of what I ended up buying was these. And again, since it's by the pound, these don't weigh very much. So it didn't end up costing very much at all. So the next thing that I got here is this little defuzz it. It's from 1997, so it's new old stock. It's by weight. This basically weighs nothing. So it was like pennies, basically. So I got this wired doorbell kit, which you can probably hear it. It actually comes with 2 doorbells and a little system. It's all new in the package. I opened it to make sure everything's in there. This I found really interesting. I don't know how well I'll do with it. It's like a stone little tile. It's from a roofing slat mine in Pennsylvania. This one's a St. Anne Street at Presbytery. I don't know how to pronounce that. I just thought it looked really nice, and it's something that I think I can sell out at my booth. So I'm hoping that I can sell this locally and not have to deal with shipping. But I might end up posting it on eBay and have to figure out the shipping on it. In the video, hopefully some of this stuff you were able to see. I did try to focus. I always try to look at things that are new in the package. That's just kind of how I am. I like new in the package things. There was another Memorex thing that I picked up, but the sold comps were not bad, but with shipping and everything, they were a lot heavier. This one was light, and it's still new in the package, and I thought that I would be able to do well on this. So I wasn't able to find any actual sold comps. I did see people have it listed, but I didn't see any sell. But I still thought, well, it's new in the box. Let me go ahead and try it out. If I can't sell it online, I can take it out to my booth. On the weekdays, I go out and I sell more like this kind of stuff where it's more like garage sale-y kind of stuff. So that's something that I can do. Another thing, this one my mom found. It's like a wastebasket, and it's from IKEA. There was actually a couple different IKEA things there, and I think I got some of it in the video, like the glass set. Unfortunately, there was not a complete set because several of it was broken. This here, I'll look up and get sold comps from IKEA, but it's got all the pieces to it. It's got the instructions down here at the bottom. So I'm hoping that I should be able to sell this. Again, probably not something that I'm going to do online because shipping wise, that would be a pretty big container. So this was another thing that I found that I don't think I got on video. Right around when I found these is when someone came up to me and told me no photography or videoing allowed, which is a little bit strange, but I just kind of turned my camera down from there, and I didn't even bother trying to turn it back on because I didn't want to get kicked out or anything like that. My mom got some different clothing items. I kind of stayed away from it because, again, I'm just not really sure with the brands, but she was looking at stuff and she was just like, well, I'm going to get it because I think you can make money on it. So I got the Aeropostale. I looked it up, but I couldn't find the exact thing. So I'll try to find something close to it. It's in good shape. So I'm kind of a sucker for these Etch-a-Sketches.
This one though is actually from Ohio Art, The World of Toys, which means it is an older one, not a 2016 one, which is what my last one is. It also works a lot better than the other one that I got. So this one I think I'll actually be able to do better for on eBay. And again, it's small, it should ship pretty well. But this is in the package here. Oh, I found it in the box and I wasn't sure what it was. It says W.J. George Fine China. It had the holder, it's got the certificate of authenticity back here. So I just thought, well, with all of that, I should be able to get something for it. Some other clothing stuff that my mom found. This is a Ann Taylor size 8 dress. We'll see how I do on that one. I don't really know with women's clothing. I'm a little bit more uncomfortable because I don't know how to list it, because I don't know like what style to call it. This is something that my aunt got me. She knows that I have like a whole Nerf gun collection. It's probably something that I'm just gonna keep. All right, these next two things, my mom found one and then my aunt actually found the other, but I'm gonna bundle them together. So this one is an Under Armour windbreaker, and it is a medium, and it's in good shape. Again, no tears or anything like that. My mom had showed me that, and then I was walking around, and then my aunt stopped me and said that she had found this shirt, which is a button-up shirt, and it's also Texas Tech. And it's also a medium. So I figured, well, I can bundle these two things together with a shirt and a jacket, and hopefully I'll do well on that, and we'll see how that goes. I think the last thing that I ended up getting from there was this giant fish plush. I don't know that I'll find comps on it. It's really something that I'm just gonna put out at the booth, because again, it's so light that it's definitely less than a pound. So I paid less than $1 for it, and I think that I should be able to sell it for probably about 10 bucks out at my flea market booth. So after I finished filming that review, I felt like there was something missing. I went out to my truck and found this last bag of stuff that I didn't show you before. So some of the last few things, Repti Basking Spotlight, it was in there, it's not broken. Books were 5 for 99 cents, and so she actually ended up giving me some other stuff, the cassettes and stuff like that. She just kind of did for the same price. So I only had 4. There's a Whitney Houston, Robin Hood, Rod Stewart's Greatest Hits, and Leanne Rimes. So I wasn't really interested in all of them, but they were the only ones that I found, and so I just kind of put them together. But she ended up telling me, you know what, I'll just do this with that to consider it a book, even though it's actually a thing of Play-Doh, and they're all brand new, never opened. I ended up getting that for 20 cents. And then it's same thing with these book things here. This is not a book, but she went ahead and did it as a book. It's like a Lakeshore Learning, the Slime Time, and then these 3 books here. The World Atlas, Bringing the World to Life. Most of these books I just got because, again, as a former teacher, these were just books that I thought looked interesting, books that my kids would have liked. I don't know how well they'll do sell-wise, but they're just ones that I thought looked interesting to me. And awesome facts books. Again, these are ones that like Scholastic sells or different things that kids do well. They have a price here on the back, like $25, but I'll look up sold comps on them too. I didn't do that while I was there because books were only, again, 5 for $1. Another couple things that I got, this little Derek Jeter final season commemorative coin. I just thought that was cool, and again, since it's by weight, I mean, this basically weighs nothing. And then this tempered glass screen protector, and it's for an iPad Pro 12.9. It isn't open, but you can kind of like do this, so I did kind of pull it out just to make sure it wasn't cracked or anything like that, but then I went ahead and slid it back in there. So
that was a fun trip to Austin. I've never been to that Goodwill Clearance Center. It's much bigger than the one in San Antonio, so it was really fun to check it out. On this trip, overall, I had a good time. We found some great stuff. It's unfortunate that they have the no filming policy, but hopefully I'll get to go back there again and do some more footage. There was a lot more stuff there. We were there for about 2 hours and we did go through stuff, but as we were there, they keep bringing stuff out. In the video, I don't know that you can see it, but there's like a whole wall of people that have carts full of stuff that they just wait for the new stuff to come out, and they're like rushing to get it. I don't really like to fight that, so I just kind of go through and get what I can, and I get out. I probably could have found some better stuff, but I like the way I do it. And so far, I think I'm doing well with the things that I'm finding. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these videos. Let me know in the comments if you want to see something different. I think my next video is going to be a little bit different, but stay tuned. That'll be dropping next week. Hope you guys are enjoying. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. That's the way we grow the channel. I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you guys. This is Matt, the Overall Bargain Hunter, signing out until next time.